afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. How are you doing? It is the beginning of a new week. YouTube is being weird today. So the analytics aren't working. So usually in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, you would see how many subscribers I have. But I'm just not allowed to do that today. Because it just ain't working. Yeah, I'll show you. See? Get the little dog. No matter how many times I press retry. Ugh. That's fun. Anyway. Good afternoon. Josh got the day right. Yes! I was thinking about that before as we were going live. I was like, hold on. Wait a minute. Get the day right. Don't think it's Wednesday when it's clearly not. That's not for another 3 days. Good afternoon to you all. Baradon283, Mark Watson, Nick Main, Philip G, Chris Bailey, Ricky Goldbrook, Dan Elliott, Travis Woodside, Star Pilot, Fake Street Spirit. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, one and all. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a good weekend. I had a great weekend. It was very hot, so I did very little. Hello, Thomas. And hello, Chad. I'm glad I can get on with it. Yeah, I had a good weekend. It was very hot, so I didn't do very much. Because I'm not on any specifically tight deadlines, other than Project Spearhead. But stuff has happened on Project Spearhead. So, I'm going to take you on a whirlwind tour through what's been going on. So, here you can see a pile of sprues. That's not what you want to see. Project Spearhead has continued. So, I finished... This isn't part of Project Spearhead, but it is a Patreon. A Patreon freebie. I have almost finished this guy. The Breaker Boss. Just need to do his base and add some tufts. Just a couple of tufts remain on that. So the Breaker Boss, that's a video coming your way soon. We have the Killbow, the Beast Skewer Killbow. Again, lacking some tufts. But this is what will finish off Spearhead Orc War Clans. And again, video coming very, very soon. There you go. I'm really pleased with this one. I think it looks great. Another one that I finished. Spoilpox Scrivener. For you Demons fans, you Nurgle Demons fans in particular. That one's been finished. Again, just lacking some tufts. You see there's a theme to today. So that is Spearhead Maggotkin of Nurgle. There you go. Still with me? Today, just before we went live, I did the Branch Witch. And because this would be a really boring video by itself, and because that second half of that stream broke, so not able to do half the stuff. You can't see how I did half the stuff, including one of the most important parts, which is I painted some of these. So I've done 3 Kurnoth Hunters as well. So, Sylvaneth, Spearhead is done. Just need to finish the bases. Auric Warclans, Spearhead is done. Just need to finish the base. And Spearhead Maggotkin of Nurgle is done. Just need to finish the base. Included this. I didn't film this because it's already got a video in the clearing the backlog. These guys, they're done as well. So I just need to do them. Cities of Sigmar and Flesh Eater Courts were already done, because by virtue of making content for the last 6 months. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Spearheads, plus the other 2 is Cities of Sigmar and Flesh Eater Courts. 6 down, 2 more to go for part 1. The 2 that are going to be done for part 1 are Seraphon and Slaves to Darkness. So I've bought the Chariot and I've bought the Chaos Lord. So that is something that we need to build today. And what I've also made a start on, literally I've done bugger all to it, but I made a start on the Carnosaur. So if we get enough time, I'll do some more red on the Carnosaur for all of you today. That'll be number 7. It's exciting times, isn't it? Oh. DPI just went massively up. We don't want to be on 3200. There we go. 2400 is absolutely fine. Anyway, how are you all doing? That scroll is magnificent. Oh, thank you, Chad. That's very kind of you. I really enjoyed painting that guy. He's been sat on my desk since it was Broken Realms, I think. They did the sets of demons. There was the one that had Sloppity Bilepiper, Spoilpox Scrivener, and 20 Plague Bearers. I built it. I've had it built since then, so it's like it's been sat on my desk for 3 years. This is what I mean. Everything that comes here eventually gets done. It just might be a day, it might be 6 weeks, it might be 3 years, but it does eventually get done. So, what will be the next Spearhead? Okay, so after I've done Seraphon and Slaves to Darkness, that puts me on 8 Spearheads. Now, something I built yesterday. Where is it? Okay. I built this yesterday, and I am just waiting for the Endrin riggers to turn up. Caradron Overlords, baby. So I built the frigate. I've decided I'm not even going to bother doing an admiral. I'm just going to use the man, the myth, the legend, Drecky Flint. So Drecky Flint is going to be the admiral. He's just going to proxy in as the admiral, but it makes sense in my mind because he's a captain, I think, or he's an admiral. I can't remember. Anyway, he's the named Black Library one. So I built this yesterday, just waiting for some Endrin riggers. Yeah, Caradron Overlords is one of the next ones that I want to do. The next ones are all a little bit more intensive, right? So Caradron Overlords, Lumineth Realm Lords, Soulblight Grave Lords, and possibly the Man Crusher mob. I haven't decided yet. It depends on how much time is left in May once I get all of this out of the way. So yeah, there's lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Yeah, so we got tufts and stuff to do. We'll start with the Breaker Boss, because that's what needs to get done. Have you any Black Legion painting bids? Do you still need some Paladins? Just found a box. Oh, Nick. I do have... Firstly, yes, I do have... Let's use some burned grass for this, because this will look cool. And we'll use some dark moss as well. What was I saying? I do have a Black Legion video. I've also got Abaddon. So it's the Chaos Lord from... It's a really old video, though. But it's the Chaos Lord from Blackstone Fortress. There's a video on how to paint him. And then there is also a video on how to paint Abaddon, the Everchosen. Not the Everchosen. Abaddon, the Despoiler. I must have some more Black Legion videos. Or do I really not have that many? I mean, to be fair, any of the Slaves to Darkness stuff as well can also apply. Because it's basically the same thing. So, like, Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights and things like that. In fact, I think a really good video that might help you is the oh, what's he called? No, he's not called the Aspiring Champion. Let's have a look. Let me just go and quickly find out. Head over to YouTube. It's going to really annoy me otherwise. YouTube channel, videos, no, playlists, Slaves to Darkness. Where are you? Is it an old one? Ah, there we go. The Exalted Hero of Chaos. So this video, this video here, whilst it's not specifically Black Legion, that video there, Exalted Hero, see Simon got there before me. That video there, Nick, that video is basically the Black Legion scheme, the Exalted Hero of Chaos. That is how I would paint them. Oh, this is a really cool video. But this is more of a silvery scheme. But there is the shield on there. That should help. What else have we got for Slaves to Darkness? Oh, the Chaos Lord on Karkadrak and the Chaos Knights as well. So this one. Share. Copy. This one here. And wait, which one was that? That was Chaos Knights. Yeah, that'll do. Mini Painting Dad has been a member for 9 months. My goodness me. Thank you very much, Mini Painting Dad. And also, good evening. What will your army for be your army for 4th? I don't like to pigeonhole myself for Age of Sigmar. I thought my army for 10th edition 40k might be Adeptus Custodes because I wanted a really strong combat army. And then that got kiboshed. So, you know. Also, you never know what stuff's going to come out. That's the thing. For Age of Sigmar. I have a feeling that the Umbraneth, whatever they're going to call it, the shadowy elves, the Ulgu elves, I have a feeling that they're on the way. Right, we're going to add some of these burned ones. For those asking where the tufts are, these are from Gamer's Grass. So put all my tufts I get from Gamer's Grass, by the way. I've tried some other brands and they're just not as good. Because what I used to really like was Middenland tufts from Games Workshop, and then they got rid of them, and then I discovered that Middenland tufts were made by Gamer's Grass. So, I was like, well, I'm just going to go for Gamer's Grass then. It just made sense to me. Let's pop. No, this one's a bit big. I don't want something that's that big. Let's go with this one. And we're going to put this one. I want to put it right in there. Just add a little bit of a 3D texture to that. There we go. And we'll just go for another small one. I'm going to put that round here. Like that. So, once we've applied the burned 2mm is what those are. It's basically like black grass. It looks really good. This is a new as well. I bought these the other day and I was like, I might use them for something. I might not. I bought them just because I wanted to put the total of my order over £60 so that I get free shipping from Firestorm Games. My affiliate link is in the description. And Mini Painting Dad has been the first, most generous, most awesome person today with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Mini Painting Dad. You are the best. You win the prize of being the best. Thank you very much. You put us on 584. A mere 16 from 500. Exactly, Alec, man. Right. So, maybe these are going to be a bit too big because we've already got 2mm. We want tiny tufts. That's what we want. Not those. This is the most expensive thing about being a Warhammerist. I own so many packs of tufts because I just go through them so quickly. Tiny dry green. We don't want them. We don't want violet flowers. Might need them for later. Tiny beige. We don't need them. Tiny light green. We don't need them. Tiny dry green. That's nearly dead. There's only a couple left on there. Copper brown. Beige 2mm. Don't know what that is. Brown 4mm. Brown 4mm. Dry green. Mixed green. Tiny dark moss. That's what I wanted. That was the one. That's the one. That's what we need. That's what we like to see. Tiny dark moss. Dry green. Get out of here. No. Oh. All of that can go, as can that one. What did I do with the burned ones? Oh, they're down there. There we go. Oh, Baradon283, thank you very much for the gifted membership. You're a legend. Thank you very much. Puts us on 485, ladies and gentlemen. We are 15 away from 500. I'm starting Sons of Behemat and want to do them as Sea Titans. What colours would you use for that theme? Oh, that's a very good question. I would probably look at doing something like I'd probably look at using kind of a lot more kind of like, well, greenish colours for like the clothes and stuff. You could also go for like more kind of like drowned kind of type skin. You could kind of use like things like Space Wolves Grey and you know, Drakenhof Nightshade on its own and stuff like that, to just kind of like just to break them up a little bit if you want them to look like kind of like drowned monsters in some ways. As for like their clothes and stuff, you could look at, I would go for like cold, probably a cold, where did that go? Probably like a cold undercoat, something like Grey Seer probably, so it's not too much warmth to their skin, for example. And then use, again, stuff like Space Wolves Grey, Achillean Green and stuff for like the clothes and stuff like that. You could go for some really dark blues, like throwing in some Ultramarines blue and Leviathan blue combinations and stuff like that. Let's throw that one in there. Do you have anything to go in here? Let's just pop one in there like that. There we go. Killbow finished. Hello, Captain Manrings. Didn't put me into this directly. How are you doing, Mr. the Warhipster? I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, YouTube's being funny today. So we're just going to put a couple of these dark mossy tufts on the breaker boss as well. Again, just to break up the burned. Just give a sort of second tone of grass. I cover how I did the Killbow base. I did cover that in the video when it comes out. But if you want to recreate these swampy bases, there is a video on the channel called How to Paint Swamp Bases. And there's another one from a very long time ago called Nuclear Wasteland Bases, which is basically the same thing. Just doesn't have any tufts. What it does have is snow instead. There we go. Job 1 and job 2 done. So that's the breaker boss and the beast skewer killbow fully based at long last. Yes. Right, now we need to do the maggotkin. I think for this one I need to just quickly look up what I did for the plague bearers and stuff like that. So Dan Robinson upgraded their membership to Battle Hipster like an absolute bloody legend. Thank you very much, Dan Robinson. You're a hero. Oh, you've messaged. Hey, Warhipster, I never say anything normally, lurk, but just wanted to say, love your content. I was in a rubbish place and watching your videos chilled me out, so thanks for that, you legend. Dan, that is very kind of you. Thank you very much. I love to hear whenever I can help. I'm sorry that you were in a rubbish place, and you will always have a welcoming, loving, and lovely place here at the Warhipster Studios. Thank you very much for appreciating the content, and thank you very much for using it. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You are a legend. You yourself are. Hello, Dutch Army Painter. Hello, Mr. Gwatkin. See you later, Star Pilot. Try and have a good day at work. Right. We need Warhipster, Maggotkin, and Nurgle. Maggotkin of Nurgle. There we go. Do I have a playlist on this? No, apparently not. But what I do have is a Harbinger of Decay, which I used the brown tufts on. Because that was a pack of flowers. We will need those for the Sylvaneth. Hello, Laura. Meantime May is going exceedingly well. I think we will require Dark Moss 2mm here. I have painted lots of things I've wanted to do for a long time. In fact, we're about to base one that's taken me 3 years to get to. Which is the Spoilpox Scrivener. Ah! Get out of it. Copper brown. No, it's not them. It's not beige. It's not them. It is these ones. Yes. How are you, Laura? Are you okay? Okay, so brown is next. How do you decide on different primers? I essentially go by the vibe of the model. So some models, so for example, this guy, he's quite warm, right? If you look at the box art, he's very warm. So we're going to go for a brown one there, and we're going to put another brown one. Can we work it in there, maybe? That's a little bit big for that. I essentially, so yeah, I look at what the vibe is for the model first. Is it really bright? Is it really warm? Is it really organic? What's the vibe? What's one of the main colors on there? Because if it's like a bright, like off-white, like a yellow, like Deathwing, you don't want to prime that in Grey Seer because it takes all the warmth out of the recesses. What you want it to be is you want it to go for Wraithbone because it's bright and it's warm, and Wraithbone will accentuate the yellow tones of Deathwing, for example. Same for like anything that's like a bright, healthy flesh. Let's do that, and then let's throw in some dark moss. If it's a cold color like silver, you can go for Grey Seer because generally the whole vibe of the model will be that it's quite chilly. So you don't want to go for a Wraithbone because you're adding warmth in there where there isn't any. It might be that it's quite a dark model, quite a gloomy model, something like Slaves to Darkness. They're quite dark, so you go for a Grey Seer primer. It depends on what the tone of the miniature is going for. But also, if you're not kind of doing what I do, which is figure out how to make it look like the box art, and you're going for something that you want to do by yourself, really it's about vibe that you're going for. So like a Wraithbone model is going to look a lot warmer and take more work to make it darker than a Grey Seer model. Grey Seer models generally tend to look darker just by their very nature of being. What? Oh, it's over there. Then, of course, there's the neutral one, which is White Scar, but White Scar is brighter than both of them put together. So White Scar will be, it takes a little bit more time to get it down, but it doesn't introduce any yellow in there in order to make things appear warm, and it doesn't take out colour to make it feel colder. Having car stress. Oh, that's never fun. Spoil Pox Scrivener. Done. That's 3. What did I do for the Hammers of Sigmar? Warhipster. Hammers of Sigmar. I suspect I used mixed green. Tiny green is what I would guess. Steel and Mud. Yeah, did that. Tyrant Skull. Mixed green 6mm and tiny dry green 2mm. Yeah. See, I know my armies. I like to think I know my armies. Nope, none of them. Maybe one of these. Yeah, so Alice and I have gone through kind of times where she's had some pretty severe car trouble, and it's always incredibly stressful. So I completely sympathise, because there's all of those. It's all of that flash. It's all of the flash forwards to things that you won't be able to do, right? I'm sure it'll be okay though. I hope it'll be okay. There we go. Is there any bits on here? I mean, that does look pretty dead. We're just going to use it then. Thanks, Mr. Gwatkin. I notice you don't use underpainting much. Do you think it's worth it? What's your definition of underpainting, Nick? Out of interest. Because I do quite often use something called pre-shading, which some people call underpainting and some people don't. You see what I mean? Ugh. Oh, that's the worst, Laura. Hello there, Mini Creative. Like dry brush black on a white primer. Oh, I see what you mean. Honestly, I don't know how much it adds. So things like, zenithal priming and slap chopping and all this kind of thing. I feel like at a certain point there's a degree of overcomplicating the preparation of a miniature for like a 2% gain. Do you see what I mean? And like my preference is to look at the canvas, have it fully painted, right? So like with this guy, for example, I could have zenithal primed this, right? But where's the sense in doing that? And the reason why I asked that question is if I zenithal prime this going from dark under here is going to be black. So I need to paint this back up to a brighter bit because the underside of this is going to be brighter than the top. So do I prime brighter on the underside and do darker on the top? At which point I lose the vibrancy of the red. Because if I put the red over like Mechanica Standard Grey, for example, or even Chaos Black that's been dry brushed, it doesn't look anywhere near as bright and impactful as that red, right? So I feel like there's obviously times for underpainting and zenithal priming and slap chopping and all that kind of stuff, and it can really work for some people. But from my perspective, the reason I don't do it is because I think you can end up trapped doing things that actually make painting your stuff more annoying. Ultimately, if you do something like a zenithal prime and then you use a base or a layer paint over the top of a zenithal prime, you've wasted your time, right? Because a base or a layer paint, the difference between applying a flat thing like a metallic over the top of something that's been zenithal primed, you've done nothing. You waited a day to be able to spray a miniature twice. That's what you did. You haven't actually improved your paint job at all because you're applying a flat color. Now, if you're then going to go and apply contrast paints over it, yeah, sure, that can work. It can increase the shadows and the depth of a miniature, but for me, for what it's worth, from my perspective, I don't think things need to be as dark as that. I prefer my models to be a little bit brighter. I prefer to put the depth where I want it, not where the spray can determines where it goes. There's also a degree of investing in it. It's like it's a different way of painting, right? And sometimes it's like, well, in order to make it easier, buy this, this, and this. And at a certain point, at what point do you say enough's enough? At what point is are you getting minuscule minuscule improvements to your workflow. Because remember, time spent waiting for things to be ready. You have to you can't say it's quick. You can't say it's quicker to do things if you just do these 15 steps before you get to the thing, because it's all part of the same. It's all part of the process, right? That's my perspective on it. And because my day is designed around fine margins, if I'm priming a miniature and then I wait 24 hours to prime it again, it's 24 hours where I'm not painting it. I also feel like there's a different kind of different skill level to being able to do things, because if you muck it up, which is very easy to do, either the final result won't look as good, or you have to go back and correct your prep. You should wait with a spray can. That's the thing. Well, and this is the other side of that, right? If you're painting with airbrushes, absolutely. I mean, it's part of the airbrush thing, but the airbrush speeds up the application of the base and layer paints, right? So you're saving, you're creating a time deficit, right? So let's say you have, let's go to here. Let's say you have 10 hours to paint a miniature, right? And what is the quickest way of doing that? From my perspective, the quickest way of doing that is to prime it with a rattle can and then paint for 10 hours, because that's how I like to paint. Now, if you say that putting all the base coats on takes 4 hours and doing all the highlights takes 6 hours, if you then go, well, actually, I don't want to do the highlights, so I can take away 6 hours, so now I'm on 4 hours, but I want the base coats to look really good, then I need to do more hours in the prep. So I'm back up to an extra 2 for the zenithals and all this kind of thing, and the blending and all that kind of thing, and so on and so forth. Do you know what I mean? Time deficits, right? If you look at it from that perspective. So the way I paint is the quickest way I paint, because it's the way I like to paint. If I used an airbrush, I would 100% use all of those things. I would use zenithal priming and all this kind of thing, because I'm saving all of that time in the base coat application, so that I can take the 2 hours away from the base coat application and put it into the prep time of the zenithal and all this kind of thing. So, but I don't paint with an airbrush, so I'm not going to use airbrush techniques for classic painting that will ultimately not really affect the final outcome, that have just lengthened the period of time it takes me to paint something in a classic / contrast manner. Do you see what I mean? Hello, Mr. James Matthias. Joe Gooden, thank you very much for becoming a member. Felt like you absolutely deserve my membership. Just finished painting the Khan. Following your guide. Think it's the best thing I've done. Joe, thank you very much. And I'm glad you enjoyed painting the Khan. I have been looking at doing a White Scars army myself. I don't know whether to do it for Age of Darkness or whether to do it for 40k. It's a problem because I don't have time. Hello, Craig Thompson. Brad Durso, I do have an airbrush, but mostly use it for vehicles or other things with large flat panels and some special paints that work better through airbrush. I like to paint with a real brush more. Oh, there you go. See? I don't have an airbrush. Well, I do have an airbrush, but I don't want to use it, and I don't like the idea of using it. And I personally, this is my personal thing. I don't like the way like super airbrushed miniatures look. I also, from my perspective, I'm skilled enough at blending with a brush with contrast paints that I don't need an airbrush to do it. See what I mean? There's all different ways that we all like to do different things, you know. And that's one of the things I love about miniature painting is there is no right answer, and there's also no wrong answer either. That's what's so good about it. Okay, so vanquishers are based. What's left? Oh, yeah. I need to do the second layer on the rims of some bases. So for that, we're going to move that out of the way. And I need a bad one black. There it is. That's exactly right, Chad. So that's the way you're good at doing your thing with your thing. So, you know, it's different means of achieving the same outcome, right? Which I love about miniature painting. I really love that. I need my touch paper. Okay. So I need to finish the base on this guy. Which means I need to do the rim and I need to do the tufts. Hello, Dana. Yeah. There we go. Josh, have you removed a tier from your YouTube memberships? I thought there was a higher tier before. What? Oh, God. Don't tell me there's more problems with memberships. Alright, hang on. No, there should be 3. Skirmish Hipster, Battle Hipster, and Warhipster. There's a 4th one. Oh, the 4th... The £50 tier is on Patreon. I should actually point out at this point, guys, I haven't said it yet, but if you could please leave a like on the stream, that would be very useful. That would be very kind, because it means more people will come and watch. Let's see if YouTube has sorted itself out yet. Yes, it has, ish. But it is completely misreporting any revenue. That's nice, isn't it? So apparently I've earned nothing. What the actual? That's worrying. At least this is back. Small victories. Yeah, that's fun. See what the phone's saying. Yeah. What's the actual? I'm gonna text Liam. Yeah. It's quite startling when you open your main platform And it says, "Hi, yeah, you haven't earned any revenue for the past 2 months." What? Okay. I'm gonna try and ignore the anxiety and just press on. Quick, somebody distract me. Tell me a story. Now, some of you might remember this tree lord from a live stream we did way in the past. I think it's like 2 years ago. I painted this tree lord on that stream. To show how to paint tree lords, because that was part of the 24-hour stream that got lost. Because YouTube can't retain streams of over 8 hours long. Or 12 hours long, I think, maybe. So he's just been sat with Sterling Battlemire all over his base and hasn't been finished. In all this time. Boom. Did you know all crisps go out of date on a Saturday? I did not know that. James, the base rim colour is Steel Legion Drab. This is one of the ones. So you know, whenever they do a brown base on the Games Workshop website, it's usually Steel Legion Drab that they're using. Bosh. And then we have one more. There we go. Ah. Hello, Colonel. Oh. Once upon a time, there was a lovely little sausage called Baldric, and it lived happily ever after. That's a fantastic reference there, Baradin. Hi, Fabian. Yeah, I have. I've been tackling quite a few things. So far in May, I've painted 5 Vanquishers, 3 Kernoth Hunters, a Branch Witch, a Breaker Boss on Maya Brute Troggoth, a Beast Skewer Killbow, and a Spoilpox Scrivener. I have also built an Arcanaut Frigate. Played Warcry yesterday with my Dark Oath versus my son playing the Lizards of Odd. He destroyed me as the victory condition favoured his speed. Oh no! I need to play some more Warcry. I'm excited for that next. Do you remember they previewed that set with the... Is it Sylvaneth and Ossiarch Bone Reapers in it? I can't remember what it was called. Bone and Branch or something. I don't know. I'm excited for that one. Because that one will be cool. Oh, we might be back up and running. Sort of. Not quite the entirety of the last week. Okay. The anxiety is dying down. Bramble and Bone. Is that what it was actually called? Briar and Bone. Oh. I'm excited for it, man. Like, it just had its big update as well, didn't it, Warcry? A massive FAQ, I think, was what somebody said. Oh, well done, guys. You've gone past 50 likes on the stream. Good job. Can we get to 69? We need 17 more. It's funny, we're 13 days into May, and I'm like, I know I've done a fair bit, but I feel like I've also been trying to take a couple of days here and there. So like on Friday, Alice, myself, my dad, and my dad's friend Alan, we went to go and see Elbow. And that was great. Tuesday last week, my older brother came to visit, so didn't do anything for a couple of hours there. So you know, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to look after myself. Anyone picking up any of the Middle Earth Made to Order next week? I certainly am, Mr. Gwatkin. And this is the part of I mean, this is entirely my decision, right? But because I'm deliberately not pushing out videos as quick as possible, so that I'm not behind the curve, as it were. No, which is normally what I do. Because I'm not pushing out the videos really quickly. I'm waiting until sort of June, July to do that. So I'm using May to kind of slow down a little bit and get other stuff ready. Because I'm doing that, it means ad revenue is down, subscribership is down, viewership is down. So it's essentially like taking a holiday without taking a holiday, as it were. And I'm having to kind of, you know, because you know, as a YouTuber, you're obsessed with these numbers, right? And I look at the numbers and they're all grey arrows pointing down like, you're rubbish, Josh. And I'm like, I am not rubbish. I'm looking after my brain. How dare you? Legit question. How many hours do you paint a day? So I started painting at 1:30 today. I painted up until 5. So what's that? That's 3.5 hours. I'm technically painting now, although it's more hobby. But this is a live stream, right? But normally I would be doing painting at this time. So if I start at 1:30, I'll go until about 7:30, which is when Alice and I generally aim to have dinner, 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'll watch an hour-long program or maybe a film, something for an hour and a half. From about 8 till 9, 9:30, that type of thing. And then from 9:30 onwards, I will usually paint from 9:30 till about 4 a.m. So, what's that? 1:30 till 7:30. That's 6 hours. And then, yeah, probably 12 to 40. I would say it depends on how busy I am or how enthused or how excited I am. Because that can also pay into it as well. Sometimes I can just like leap out of bed really early in the morning. And just be like, I'm going to go for it. So like, sometimes I'll do 16 hours a day. Sometimes I'll do, but more often than not, it's probably 12 to 14. Need a quick recipe for brown cloth pouches. Any suggestions? I really like doing 2 coats of Gore Grunter fur. It's already brown, but it looks really nice. What have I got? Anything to hand that looks like that? Yeah. So you see this one, Pete? See this harness here? That's 2 layers of Gore Grunter fur. I highlighted it with Deathclaw Brown, but you don't generally need to do that. If you watch any of the Kroot videos, you see me do it on most of them. So, like, the quills are quite often 2 layers of Gore Grunter fur. Really quick, really easy, and it looks really nice. It's a reddy brown, but it's nice. You need to do some shorts. That seems to be the trend. Yeah, so next week I'm planning to do... I'm planning to continue the what it looks like. You are the talent, the producer, the editor, the business person, etc., etc. You have 5++ jobs. This makes it really hard to take care of yourself in a way that also keeps the business going. You are absolutely 100% correct there, James. A 100% correct there. But it's the best job in the world. I love it. It's just really long days. However, as I've spoken about this before, so I think judging on how things go, obviously things can take a turn for the worse or actually not improve that much, but I think I'm going to look to next year hire a content creator to join the team to make more content and to take a video slot away from me so that I can have more time to do other stuff, basically. So the purpose of that is you get another voice on here showing you other stuff, and I'm thinking this is probably how we're gonna go for it, right? Is if my responsibility is to do contrast plus painting tutorials and sprue reviews, stuff like that, then if we hire someone else to do things, as James says there, like Warcry gameplays. So if I hire somebody to come on and literally just do Warcry, and they do a Warcry video a week, that would be great. that would be perfect. And if they, like, you know, classic paint or finger paint or airbrush paint, or just literally talk about how Warcry works, strategies for Warcry videos, it's really kind of up to them, as it were. But that's kind of where I'm at in terms of thinking how this business grows. The reason that's a good thing for me is it means that instead of doing 2 Contrast Plus videos a week, for example, let's say, we go down to 1, like, guaranteed. Like, obviously, this isn't like me saying I only want to go down to doing 1. It's 1 guaranteed a week, but the other slot gets taken up with other content. So you don't lose any content, you actually gain more content that way, because I'll still paint at the same breakneck speed that I do. But what I won't have to do is edit other videos, because somebody else will be doing that, as you see. What I really want to have is a big building like Liam does. I want to have a big building where I can have a bunch of people sitting in there working on various different stuff all at the same time, and it just becomes this wonderful, unique, wonderful team. But I think in order to get there, we need to have somewhere in the region of 2,000 to 3,000 members on the channel, and probably about 100,000 subscribers for the ad revenue, so I can pay people, because I want to pay people a really good wage. Brad Durso, thank you very much for the $25. It is important to take care of yourself. Well, that's very, very kind of you, and I couldn't agree more. And I mean, you guys take care of me. Alice takes care of me, and I am also trying to take care of myself, so that we can make Warhipster the best damn channel in the universe. And then we'll hire someone who's younger, more handsome, and more talented than I, and it'll just be nothing but jealousy left, right, and center. And they'll be better at streaming, better at painting, better at wargaming, and then eventually I shall be completely replaced. I'm sure you've already mentioned it. Will you be doing a tutorial on the Carnosaur? Goblin Horde? You mean this Carnosaur? Yes, I started it today. Warhipster Towers will become a reality. Yes. That's the sexy beast held by a sexier beast. Oh my. Oh, James Matthias, dropping $100. Thanks for being a bright light in the industry. I know you'll get Warhipster to where you want it to go. James, that is exceptionally kind of you. Thank you very much. Your words are very kind. Your message is very kind. Your donation is incredibly kind. I very much appreciate it. I don't know what to say other than thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The 78 people watching here now, the 59 people who have liked this stream, 10 more and we get the magic number. If we will make this channel what it wants to be. I want this to be, you know, as much my thing as it is yours. You know, I want it to be a place where, you know, you can... My dream has always been that this channel is a place where people go and they get exactly what they want. And I am but one man. You see, he's just a man. So I can't do everything. But what I want is I want this to be just like the destination. We just literally cover everything. All of the time. So that, especially when it comes to Age of Sigmar, that people go, That guy is the one. That channel, that is where you go. If you want Age of Sigmar, if you want tabletop wargaming, that is the place you go. If you want to paint something, you want to see how to play, you want to watch people play, that's the place that you go to get that stuff. And, you know, it is a lofty goal and aspiration. Of course it is. And, you know, I'm so down to do the work required to get that. But it's only because of you guys that it's even possible. So, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know if these are ready. They look ready. We can probably go for it. This channel where everybody knows your name. Right, we need to do a second layer of Steel Legion Drab. And then it's Tuft City again. We might just flat run out of time to do any building, which, you know, I'm not mad about. Maybe we need a second drop of water. There we go. Yeah, that'll do it. Nice and thin. So you should be okay now. Yep, you've had your 2 layers. So it's up to you to get your 2 layers now. Of Steel Legion Drab. Tufts Tuesdays. Yeah, I mean... Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here. Coming at you with another Tufting Tuesday. Today we've got 40,000 models that we're going to be adding tufts to. It's the content you never knew you wanted. And yet, it's the only content you need. Hashtag not sponsored by anybody who wants to donate tufts to the channel. It's alright, I'm just a painting channel, you know? Just a painting channel. P.S. If you run a brush making company, a rattle can primer company, or a scenery / basing kit making company, and you want to have your products put in front of 60,000 people, send me an email at therealwarhipster.com. At realwarhipster@gmail.com. Because, you know, as much as you guys are constantly clamoring for my opinion on possible scam jewelry websites, I'm not prepared to do a sponsor spot for them. Do you see what I mean? Because that's the brand deals I get offered. Okay, so what I can do is if I just pop this one over here and just scooch you a little bit and then move my phone out of the way and then scooch you over here. FYI, for anybody who thinks starting like a YouTube channel where you make painting tutorials is a really good idea, it is. One thing you will find out though is that as you just conduct your normal daily business, when you're sat at your desk doing whatever, you end up demonstrating, you end up narrating exactly what you're doing. It's exactly what I just did then. We're going to move this over here, scooch this over here, and just pop this one over here in order for us to be able to do this thing. And I realized I was doing it the other day as I was editing a video. I was going, next up, just going to use my mouse to move this element over here. Just going to draw that up to 5 to 7 seconds. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. We're going to throw on a fade at the either end at 1 second. I was like, who the hell are you doing this for? What are you doing? Some very generous boys on here again. Indeed, Plops of Corn. Also, hello. Can you give us more insight into the reality of doing this for a living? I was listening to Liam's podcast with you earlier. Oh, absolutely. If you guys haven't already seen and you want to see a really good video, you should check out over on Liam Dempsey. I'll grab the video for you so you can go and watch it. If you want to hear more about, if you want to hear me talking for more after this stream, not now. But if you want to see a video where Liam and I have a good old chat about being content creators, here it is. Oh. Hang on. I'm just going to drop it in there 3 times for you. There you go. Do you ever find yourself doing it at like dinner? No. So I don't do it whenever somebody else is in the room. Because it would be really, really, really annoying. That was a great interview that you did with Liam, Josh, but Peachy's interview ended up being longer than yours. Well, yeah, it's because they're better friends. I told him. Oh, he's texted me back. Right, I need a lot of tufts for this next bit because I'll show you what I mean. You're about to see some expert tuftage. Oh god, what did I just run over? So, as an example, we have the Lady of Vines here. So what I need for this is a lot of flowers and a lot of grass. So, do we want to use some super long grass maybe? We've got some yellow flowers here. What have we got here? What's this? This is red flowers. Yep. We want to use those. Got any more up here hiding? Yeah, we've got some blue flowers. Yeah. Any more for any more. What's this one? Nope. Just a bit of thing. What's that? Moss 2mm bit of card. This will be useful from the perspective of actually getting rid of some tufts. You're on your own for the rest of the week, Captain Manrings. We don't need the burned, we don't need the tiny, we don't need the tiny, we do need the violet flower. No, we don't need the violet flowers because we don't use them. We don't need... So I bought some garden flowers, but it's the wrong set. We don't need the brown, but what we do need is... We don't need that one either. We do need the mixed green. We need the beige. White flowers, yeah, we need those. Might as well just use those ones as well. Beige 6mm? Yes. Copper brown, beige 2. No, we don't need any of them. Right. Okay. Let's throw on all of the tufts. Start with them. Because I can't go too mad here because I've obviously got the Kurnoth Hunters to do as well. So I'm going to put one there. I'm going to go for one here. Going to go for another one in there. We'll go for a really tall bit of this stuff. I'm going to put one in there. Like that. We'll go for another one of the mixed green ones. Pop that in there. So now we'll start with the flowers. So I'm going to go for a yellow in here. And we'll put another yellow next to that one there. Then I'm going to throw in a stack of blue. I'm doing it again, narrating. Stack of blue. I'm going to throw another stack of blue over here. I'm going to use a bit of red. Throw that one in there at the back. Mixed green, get for beige. Oh, in fact, I'm going to use these as well. Me time meadows. I like it. So I have this pack of winter tufts, right? But there's been 2 left in it for ages, so I'm just going to use them. Okay, what's next? Beige. Don't need the brown or the dark moss. You can get out of the way. We have some beigey ones here. You can go in. In you go. Use a bit of that. Throw that in here. Excellent. That is another packet dead. Excellent. Love it. White flowers. Do you have a painting journal for all your recipes, or do you just remember everything? Ah, see, I'm in the privileged position, Mini Creative, of having a YouTube channel. So I do have a painting journal. It's just called a YouTube channel. Where I just look up what I did. Let's go for some more red, shall we? And we'll pop another blue one in there. In fact, we'll pop a couple of blue ones in here. We're going to pop one here. Get off. Oh my god. Get in there. There we go. Get a bit more grass. Throw that in there. Get some beige in. A bit more beige. And then a bit more of that to go there. And then I'm just going to finish it off with flowers, I think. Yellow flowers. Yellow flowers. And we'll go for one more yellow flowers. That's a big yellow flower. There we go, and we'll go for another white. There we go. Maybe we need one more small red to go in just under the foot. Right in here. There we go. That's what we needed. There you go. You're not seeing any blue on the screen. There's blue here. Ah. Behold my garden. Were those winter tufts left over from the Dominion stuff you did with Stormcast Eternals? As I seem to recall you did winter bases. Did I? No, it's from the Leagues of Votann. That's where they came from. So the big question that remains on this basing extravaganza that we've been on is, are these bases dry enough for me to dry brush them? Because if they are, we can continue tufting. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, so where are you, Tyrant Skull? There you are. I need to get a new pot of Tyrant Skull. Can you believe it? I barely ever use Tyrant Skull. Let's just move these out of the way for the moment so that I don't lean on them and flatten them all out, because that would be the worst. There's a dead piece of paper. We don't need you anymore. Tyrant Skull. Excellent, Baradon. Excellent. Okay. Boom. OBR versus Welcome to Dry and Brush. Today we're going to be painting. I mean, like you guys know my Sylvaness scheme. It's really simple. I have, like I said, I've filmed the Kurnoth Hunters and the Branch Witch in the same video, because you know, it makes up for the fact that the video no longer exists because of the stream, the 24-hour stream being buns. So I am going to be making a video very shortly. Once I've got as many spearheads as I can together, just going, hey, look, here's all the spearheads. And what I will do as well, just for you guys out there who are hoping to also do spearheads of any of the ones that I've done, I'm going to collate all of the content in one place. So I'm going to make a playlist that throws it all into one place. So if you have, for example, just picked up Spearhead Cities of Sigmar and you're wondering how to paint how I did it, and you don't want to go sifting through my videos or all the Cities of Sigmar stuff, you can just head over to the Contrast Plus. Well, it'll be called Warhipster Paints Spearhead. And like I said, I'll collate any streams, any painting videos where Spearhead miniatures have been painted. That way there is one playlist to play them all, one playlist to find them, one playlist to bring them all, and on YouTube bind them. Okay, that is the dry brushing part of this done. It's the one playlist where I pulled all of my malice and cruelty. Alright, so for the last time today, it is a return to Tuft City. Really what we need is we need them all in a line. Like that. I'm going to go for a third grass on 2 of them. So that's mixed green out of the way. Now we'll use these. So that's it for grass on her. Yeah, grass. No one likes a grass. And we'll put this one, I think, just here, like that. I'm going to put this one underfoot there. And that is another piece of paper used. Okay. Yellow flowers. Yellow flowers. Yellow flowers. Yellow flowers. You can have 2 yellow flowers. Now, I'm going to go for a tiny little red flowers over here. Like that. Go for a big red flowers right in there. Red flowers. Right, you can have 2 reds. Like that. And then the others can just have 1 reds. Doesn't need one of my eyelashes. 1 red, and we'll go for another red in there, like that. So that's red and yellow done. Oh, someone needs to do something with this. I'm just going to throw it on here. Screw it. I had a loose yellow that I forgot about. My Death Leaper isn't under my Tyranids playlist. That is a good catch. I will sort that out in just a minute. I wonder why that is. That's weird. Who's got 2? You've got 2. You've got 1. Right, so you can have 2 white. You can also have 2 white. Why not? So it's not completely formulaic. And then we need a little white flowers to throw on this individual's base. There we go. And then blue. Blue is the last one. blue is the colour of my true love's hair. Boom. I'm not sure there's room. You run out of real estate on these bases pretty quickly, don't you? Yeah, that feels pretty stuck down. You're done. You need some blue. There we go. There's a little slot for your blue flowers right there. You love to see it. And just for fun, we're going to throw another white flowers on this guy. I'm going to just squeeze it in there. Like that. And that is the tuftage. The great tufting of Warhipster Towers done. No, it's not. Jesus. Can you talk a little bit about the camera you use for spins and photos of the final minis? Yes, James. So, what I use is I use my iPhone, right? However, the way I get the spins, right, is I've got a let me go. Let's head over to Facecam. So I use an iPhone 15 Pro for that bit because it's the quickest and simplest and easiest way of doing it. Now, what I do have, right, is I have a set of Neewer photography lights. So these small little kind of rectangular photography lights, and I use 2 of those plus an overhead light. I used to use 4 of those, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So if this is the mini right here, I would have what did I do? Did I make a mistake? How did I F up, Captain Mannerings? Please save me. If this is the miniature, right? So, and then the turntable is around this, right? So it will spin around the microphone. I'll have 1 photography light is here, 1 photography light is here, and then I have another light over the top here, which used to be 2 other photography lights here and here. So 1, 2, and then my phone sits in the middle in a tripod. So I don't hold the phone. I put it in a tripod because I found that doing this is really irritating. So one thing I will show you on the overhead camera, right, is when you're trying to take a photo, right? So here we go. When you're trying to take a photo of a miniature, right? The best thing to do when it's resting, what I have found is if you are, say, trying to take a photo of this miniature, right? What you actually want to do is you want to lock the thing down there at the rim of the base, especially when it's at like that angle. So you just want to focus it based on that, and then you can take your photos like that. But so like I put it in a, like I said, I put it in a tripod so that I'm not shaking it about, because any movement will obviously defocus it as well. Now the other thing you can do, I'll demonstrate this on the phone, right? Is say you want to take a picture of that Stormcast there, right? You can adjust the exposure by dragging down like this if you want to, or if you're on an iPhone, what you can also do, let's say you're locked on, like, in fact, let's just reset, go to video, go to photo, right? If I come right in on it, right there. So say we want to take a photo of that. what you can do is if you press the little arrow at the top there and press this one, the little plus minus, and just knock it down to 0.3 or 0.7, never more than that, because if you go all the way down you end up like this, which can look really good. So that photo right there, that looks alright. It is very zoomed in though. So you see how it's, you know, doing all of this, it's just refocusing this, that and the other. So that is -2 exposure. You see how it's like not focused? If I tap there, it'll focus. Right. If you're using a phone, what I would also recommend is using, like, particularly on iPhones, right? One thing you'll see, like for example, if I put my hand here, right? I don't know how well this is going to come out on camera, but if you use like the intervals between these, it becomes digital zoom. So like when you're taking photos, when particularly on iPhone 15 Pro, what it has specific millimeter lenses. So if you need to get closer, just tap the 1 times, 28 millimeter, 35 millimeter. That's how you can get closer, and you won't kind of, it doesn't use a digital zoom to do that. The next level up is 2, and it won't lose any quality. And then the next level up is obviously 3. Now if you go any further than that, which you can do, obviously you can go all the way to 15. That's a digital zoom, so it will artifact all over the place. So you see how it's all grainy like that. You see around there, like if we look too closely at the thing. Whereas if we go up to 2, it's looking good. So we can do that. And again, there's 0 exposure. That's -2. It's really dark, but it's all right. 0.7 to 0.3. I find that's the sweet spot. Like that. Photographing groups I find difficult. Getting all in focus is a nightmare. Yeah, so same thing, right? What you want to do is, what's the best way to demonstrate this? So, as an example, right? When you're trying to deal with, like, say, also always give your lens a little wipe. So if you're trying to take a photo of these 3 guys, right, like this. Well, you got them in a line, right? If it's like 5 models, like say in fact, easier way to do this, right? If you're trying to photograph, for example, 5 of these Vindictors, right? 1, 2, that's an Annihilator. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? We've got 3 different pointing spears here, right? So actually what's going to happen is there's going to be a little bit more of a, it's going to struggle a little bit on this side because there's 3 things moving into the depth of field. So the best thing to do in this case, if you've got lots of things pointing forward, actually just try and distribute them a little bit more evenly. So we're just going to put like this. There we go. So that's the first thing. Not everything is like massively pointing forward in one area. Then if you're trying to photograph 5 guys in a line, these with a phone in particular, these two, right? They're always going to look. So they're always going to look like, I think, like sort of about 90 degrees wrong because of the way phone cameras work, right? So if we zoom out a little bit more, can you give stuff with that iOS device? No, I can't. So like, I don't know how easy this is going to be to show on the camera. So like, when you're down at this angle, right, for example, because from here they're face on, but your camera is here. So actually, you need to plan for how much of that model is looking that way. You see? So, for your outside ones, just twizzle them about 15 degrees. Like that. And on the camera, it'll look fine. And then you just want to aim for the middle base. Tap on the middle base rim. And you'll get a photo of them all in focus. Oh, for God's sake. I hate it when it does this. Go away. How'd you get rid of that? There we go. You get a photo that looks somewhat like that. You see how it's with them twizzled in? Twizzled in. You see how it's all in focus. Same for like that one. And that one. But like that's the non-exposed one because I'm under loads of really bright light. But that's the one where I've turned the exposure right down. See? Is that useful? Whoa. Forgot how many I'd taken. Yeah, so playing with the exposure will... James with a massive $50. A masterclass. Thank you. That is very, 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 very kind of you. Thank you very much, James. You wanted to see what those lights were. I will pull those up for you. So let me go and get them. Returns and orders, and then we want from I think I got them in 2020. So they've lasted a long old while. Yeah, there they are. Okay, so window capture. These ones. I'll pop a link in there as well. So this is them. Neewer dimmable 5600K USB LED video light with a pro adjustable tripod stand and color filters. 2-pack for tabletop. Low angle shooting, Zoom video conference lighting / gaming / YouTube video / photography. To give them their full title. Excuse me, full title. So this is the link. I'll drop it in the chat for you guys. So So I use those two at those angles like this. So if that's the miniature, I put the two lights like this. Now the thing with this pack, right, is this bit down here and this bit down here, they screw into these telescopic stands. So what you can actually do is you can just take the light off and screw it in to that. So it means you get really low down lights. As you don't actually have to use the big sticks if you're like, why is it so top down? So what I used to use is I used to use these two lights, these two side by side like this. So it used to be two like overhead lights up here, and then I had two more like down here. However, what I got recently was, if we go to wish lists, it's not on here. That's irritating. It's basically a light that's like it's like one of these basically. It's a light that has it's not this specific one. When I got it for Christmas, there's one of these that splits out into two, like this. So I basically have a light like this over the top of the miniature, and then two either side like that. If that makes sense. I could probably find it. It's basically this one here. But not that one. Let's try the other one. What's this one? Yeah, pretty much that. Because the arms are articulated, you see. So you can put them like basically like that. And then another two there like that. But I don't know where the actual one I've got is. It's good though. But thank you very, very much for the 50, James. That's very, very kind of you. Great advice. Do you do weddings? No, but Alice might. Alice has done weddings. Do you need a wedding photographer? I use GVM AS 560s. Ooh, what are they? I'm always interested. GVM AS 560s. Oh, they're big. Are they big? They look lovely. $25 centimeters. Okay. These ones the panel lights I use up here are like that. These are they're quite big. I think they're about 12 inches. These, something like that. Oh no, they're much bigger. 45 centimeters. Big old lights. Does your panel light change color temp? I work with mine on 6700K. Yeah, so these... I don't go up to 6700 because it's too blue for my eyes. What these go up to is 5600. So 5600K is the max, and they can go all the way down to... Who wants to feel hot? 3200K. I stick with mine at 5200. Round about that. 5600 is okay, but it's too blue on the camera, so I have mine at 5200K. Eventually, when we move and I don't have a sloped ceiling, I'm gonna get another big. I'm gonna get a really big panel light to go right over the top. I used to do a lot more. I used to be around like 5800K was where I used to film. But then I realized what I was ending up having to do was recolor the footage too much. Can I see the undercarriage of your Stormstrike Chariot if possible, please? Trying to see which parts are black. I'll see what I can do, Cameron. Is it even in here? Yeah. Overhead. Let me try and get some additional light in there for you. Let me get a little bit closer as well. So basically, the underside of the Stormstrike Chariot, it's pretty much all black. The only bits that are silver are right in there. Let me see if I can... Can you sort of see? Does that help? I have a very important question. What should I have for dinner? That's a great question. Is literally anything on the table? Really hoping to see some missed spots under there. I'm sorry, James. We don't miss spots round here. No, instead I perform weird gymnastics with my brushes and manage to get all of the bits. I mean, within reason. You know what I like to have? I really like beans with sausages in them on tiger bread. Toast. So it's beans on toast, basically. But you know, like they make the Heinz Heinz with pork sausages, Heinz beans with pork sausages. That. Grate a bit of cheese over the top, or use slices of cheese under the beans, whichever you prefer. Bit of salt, bit of pepper. Good to go. I'm thinking a stuffed crust pizza. I mean, that's also an excellent choice. But speaking of dinner, it is 7:45, and that means it's time for us to end. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking with me during the tuftage. After dinner tonight, I will be painting a Carnosaur, so you can expect to see that video very soon. Lots of videos coming. As you can see, the Lone Spear, the Kroot Hounds. I've still got the Dark Oath, Fell Riders, and the Marauders videos left to put out. They are on the way very, very soon. Once I've done this, I've got some Slaves to Darkness to do, and yes, I will finally be getting the Varangard video ready for all of you. So if anybody has been waiting for that for over 3 years, it's on its way, baby. So don't you worry about that. Anyway, like literally primed and ready to go. Need to get them. Did you get sent the new Chaos boxes? I did not, Cameron. No, they did not send. They didn't send those. But thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. I want to say a massive, massive thank you to Mini Painting Dad, Baradon, Dan Robbo, Joe Gooden, Brad Durso, James Matthias, Edward, and James Matthias for the months of membership, the gifted membership, and the Super Chats. You guys are unbelievable. I do need to go though, because it's dinner time for me. So, guys, I will see you all very soon in the next one. Painting, we have a stream on Wednesday, and then a painting video on Thursday, and then a painting video on Saturday. So, thank you very much for being the best audience ever. We will be back on Wednesday. Love you. Here is the. I'm gonna raise the hand of farewell. Here is the hand of farewell. Goodbye. I love you. You're the best. I love you.